Hello, everyone, and welcome to the McKenna Center here on the campus of Seton Hill for today's PSAC West matchup between the Seton Hill Griffins and your California Vulcans. My name is Jonathan Safe. Alongside me here today is the great Jonathan Sakaguchi. Johnny, how are you doing today?
Not too bad. A little chilly today, and now it actually feels like January. It was snowing and chilly, so perfect time to be coming inside to watch basketball.
I agree. I mean, it was bad because it was 60 degrees the other week, and it felt like it was almost summertime. But then the next day it started to snow. So I mean, it's all over the place.
It was 65 degrees and sun. And I got the jorts out of the closet for the. And I'm like I'm gonna do it. Yeah, we know how that went.
All over the place. And this matchup between the Griffins and the Vulcans, a tightly contested one, especially for conference ranking, as both teams, I believe the Griffins coming in this game tied for 4th place, and the Vulcans sitting at 6, just a game or two behind. So it's going to be a big game in terms of playoff implications for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. California trying to battle back here as they took a rough loss to the Crimson Hawks on Saturday. We both saw that one. A couple notes I jotted down before. And first of all, Seton Hill riding a 5-game losing streak. The Vulcans looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. And on the other side of things, Cal, since 2014, has kind of made this place their secondary home. 5-3 here on the campus of Seton Hill. And in the last 10 games, the Vulcans are 7-3 against the Griffins. So, can history repeat itself tonight and keep this up? So, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing tonight. And I was looking at the history as well. The Vulcans are on a 4-game stretch. Beating the Griffins, and it's back home at the Condo Center and back here at Seton Hill.
I think the craziest thing is with looking at the history as well. The Vulcans do better here in the McKenna Center compared to at home in the Combo Center against the Griffins historically. So a little bit of a kind of reverse splits like you see a lot in baseball. But we can talk about the starting lineups here for both teams, starting with your California Vulcans.
So the lineup for your Vulcans, the same suspects as usual. Numbers here: center Jermaine Hall Jr. And your guards are starting in the game. Number 1, Cam Polak, and number 5, KJ McClure. Your power forwards of the game will be Keith Pallett, and rounding out the roster for the night will be DJ Slaughter. On the opposite side for the Griffins, so it'll be Drew Green and Samuel Otabe, Sean Dillon, Jimmy Moon, if you remember last year, here was a pain in the side to the Vulcans. And number 24, for Ryan Meese, will round out the lineup.
Not only was he a pain in the side of the Vulcans last year, also just has a cool name. I mean, that's Jimmy Moon is just a baller name. The senior forward, 6'9", out of Sarah Catholic here near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So a local guy here playing in his last season because he does have that COVID eligibility.
Yeah, and here's the thing as well. I was looking at 8. This is a tall lineup here. The shortest guy that I could find on the roster for Seton Hill is 5'8". Everyone else 6'5", 6'1", 6'2". Who down the line 6'1", 6'6", 6'4", 6'8". I mean, these are some giants on the lineup here. So it's going to be interesting to see. And Sean Dillon is the shortest of the starting lineup here. Here as we see him on the court right now for the Griffins at 5'10". And only a junior out of New Providence High School in New Jersey. So we're going to keep an eye on him because he's going to be quick on the floor. We've seen how these shorter guys, they may not be the biggest, but they are the quickest. So how much is he going to affect this game? And we'll see that tonight.
It's going to be Moon and Hall in the center circle. The Vulcans going from right to left in all black. It's going to be the Griffins going left to right in the white. Hall and Moon set for the tip-off. The tip-off is going to be won by Jimmy Moon, and then the Griffins are going to get us underway here to start the game.
Almost went out of bounds there, Aaron, giving the Vulcans good start. Hurt there.
Tabe early on in the drive gets blocked by Palick, but does a good job at fighting back to get the board. Palick once again forces that one to go away. Third chance for Samuel Tabe, and finally able to convert. Couldn't get the first, couldn't get the second, but gets the third.
And that's been the problem for the Vulcans defensively. Yeah, they can go and shoot the lights out all day, but those second and third rebound chances they give up too often.
Hall inside, pass it off to Slaughter. Thought about the shot, didn't take it. Finds McClurg in the corner, pump fake. Now cross-court pass to Polak from 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Brought in by Green. And now the Griffins going quickly the other way. Green gets it off to Mice. A little bit of give and go. He falls down himself, but able to recover and pass it back off to Dylan. And like you said, it's kind of crazy seeing this Griffin starting lineup, and Dylan being the shortest at 5'10", looks small amongst the Giants on his team as Green drives inside. Going to get fouled on his way up. I believe that one going to go against Cam Polak, and that's going to send Drew Green, the senior from Baltimore, Maryland, went to McDonough High School, going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, and that's what was going on there. If we go back and look, Polak was trying to go for the swat and ended up getting called for the foul.
Green at the line. A little bit too short on the first free throw there. Looks like Jermaine Hall Jr. for the Vulcans needed taped up earlier on, and I think maybe just had it come off during the first couple minutes of play. So he's going to head over to the bench to get retaped here, or if not, maybe he got a little bit of a cut. So need to get that cleaned up before he can head out onto the court.
Yeah, I think that's what the case is here, and they're going to just bandage it up real quick. Normally, I'm kind of surprised they didn't say he had to step out of the game for that.
Yeah, usually they make the substitution, but it wasn't as severe, I guess, as maybe it kind of is sometimes, but obviously a safety hazard, which is why they forced them to make the substitutions. But Hall back out there. Green with the second free throw attempt, misses both, so had the chance to extend the lead to 4. But unable to make either of them.
Well, Green has struggled from the free throw line, 40% free throw shooter.
Slaughter gets it off to Polak. Now back in the hands of Polak again. Nice pass by Palak, able to get it to Polak. Now Palak in the corner for 3, off the mark. And Meese jumps over everyone to get the board, but going to fall down, so he's going to get called for the travel, and the Vulcans going to get the ball back in great position.
That's a lucky break for the Vulcans right there.
Slaughter on the inbound, gets it to Hall in the corner for 3. And Jermaine Hall has been lights out the last couple of games and knocks down his first 3.
What can we say? Hey, Jermaine Hall, I don't know what sparked him back again, but he's back on it again.
3-point shot, no good from Dylan. The Vulcans able to get the board. 1-point lead for them, 18-11 left to play. Polak in the corner driving, pass it off to Palak. Palak coming inside, shot no good. No call is made, and now it's Tabe going the other way. Nice drive inside, and Samuel Tabe, 4 quick points for him and a 1-point lead for the Griffins.
Yeah, and Palak was on it, going back to that last play. It was looking for the call, nothing in called there. A little bit of contact.
McClurg loses the dribble, passes it off to Slaughter. Slaughter finds Hall inside. Nice pass, and has it off to Palak, and thought maybe a goaltending call was going to be made. Nothing called now. The great block and good defense by the Griffins. And now they're going the other way. It's going to be Dylan on that far side, guarded by McClurg. Dylan driving inside, nearly loses a handle on it, but able to secure it. Passes it back off to Meese, and Meese just waving everyone away once this one-on-one with Slaughter. Drives inside, pass it off to Tabe in the corner. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Need to get a shot off quickly. Meese, 2 seconds, pulls up in the face of Polak, and that one off the front of the rim, no good.
And Coach Sanka, like you said, was talking about, there should have been a goaltending. Being red in the face to letting the referees hear about it.
DJ Slaughter calling the offense here for the Vulcans. Just under 17 to play here in the first half. The Griffins with a 1-point lead, 4-3. McClurg passes it down low to Palak. Nice cross-court pass to Slaughter, who pulls up from 3. Shot no good, but McClurg right on the scene for the offensive board and finishes that one easily.
Great awareness by McClurg on that one, and hit the dirty bucket, as we'll call it.
5-4, your score, 6:30 left to play in the first half. Moon nearly travels it, but able to pass it off to Meese in time. Meese on the drive, kicks it over to Tabe in the corner for 3, and that shot off the mark, no good. Now here's the chance for the Vulcans to kind of push the tempo a little bit, try to get back in this game. Deep 3 from Hall, no good. And fighting for the rebound are McClurg and Tabe, and that foul going to go against KJ McClurg. Just a little bit too much contact against Tabe going up.
Yeah, and he was going a little hard for the basketball as Donald Whitehead Jr. checks into the game for the Vulcans now for his 10th game of the season. And definitely, I think, a big spark to this roster since he's become eligible.
Yeah, he's been a revelation for this Vulcan team off the bench. One of their leading scorers already on the season. He's been doing a fantastic job. As right there, he's involved. Getting that steal just tips that one away. The Vulcans with McClurg. Pass it off to Palick. Palick with a strange-looking pass, and Whitehead can't save it. It passes straight into the hands of Rice, and Rice, who just checked into the game for the Griffins, gets his first basket.
I mean, what else could Whitehead have done at that one? And he didn't want to take the backcourt violation, but just kept that one in play.
Kind of just a lazy pass there from Palick, and Whitehead going to suffer for it as Palick and Polak play a game of 1-2. The shot from Polak no good. And Palick gets the board. Going to get fouled, though, on his way down. That time Dylan took a swipe at him, and that'll be the first foul of the game for the Griffins.
And that's going to slow things down here and give the Vulcans a breather.
And that will send us to our first media timeout. While we have a second, we can take a look at the tail of the tape from this season.
So starting off here with the Vulcans, averaging a little over 80 points a game. And the Griffins right there with them, almost 81 points a game. However, our field goal percentage is where it's going to be the difference. Is the Vulcans are just behind the Griffins, as Seton Hill out shooting the Vulcans right now, 48.5% to their 47% on the season. The Vulcans do better behind the three-point line in almost 37%. 35% for the Griffins at the charity stripe. Both teams pretty even, in the Vulcans at 35.4 and Seton Hill at 36.5 on the year. So that's going to be the story of the era, I think. It's that three-point line difference. Is California, we've seen that they do better behind the three-point line, and we've seen it all, especially since we went to Gannon. And with Jermaine Hall being the lights-out shooter he is out there, I think the last game he was 7 of 11 from beyond the arc, or for someone his size, just ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely, and he was a large reason why the Vulcans were in that game for a decent chunk of it. Like we talked about, it kind of just spiraled out towards the end, but like we talked about, the three-point line is where the Vulcans make their money, but so far in this game, not have been great. We're back underway here. Whitehead going to get handed the ball, going to command the offense. The Griffins playing a 2-3 zone. It's going to be Whitehead.
Yeah, they're looking for the trap here.
Gets it off to Palick. Palick with a little bit of space, takes the three and knocks that one down. Able to get his first basket of the game. Green on the far side. Take a dribble inside, trying to find a little bit of separation, passes it off to Dylan. The moving three, no good from him. Pulls in that board. A referee is going to blow the whistle for a potential injury. Green went down after that drive and thought maybe caught a hand or something to the face, as he looks like he was holding that. Slow to get up, but it looks like he's going to start to make his way off the court as he's going to get substituted out.
Yeah. No, he's going to stay in the game, it looks like. We'll find out. Oh, he's heading for the bench.
Yeah, they brought in number 3, Samuel Tabe. They brought him back into the game. I think it was just more of a precautionary measure. He's going to go sit down for a little bit. 14:45 left to play here in the first half. The Vulcans with a 2-point lead, 8-6. The Griffins still playing this trap zone defense as Hall in the corner passes on the shot, gets it over to McClurg in the corner for 3, and KJ McClurg drills that one. And Coach Wilkins and Seton Hill are going to call a timeout.
Yeah, and I think that's what they needed right now. The Vulcans on a bit of a run here as of late. A 6-0 run for California to start right here in the last couple of minutes. It's Seton Hill. Their last couple trips down on the court, 1 for 4, or last 4 times down the floor. So going to try to slow things down on his Coach Wilkins. But you're Coach Sankum, you got to be happy with the start here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful start for them. Exactly what they needed, and something similar that we saw in that game against IUP. Playing a little bit better defense than they were in that game, but so far in this game, doing a good job on offense of scoring early and getting out ahead and trying to just put the pressure on the offensive end. But after that timeout, we're back underway. It's going to be Sean Dillon. Going to hand this one off to Whitaker, who just checked into the game for the Griffins. Now Tabe on the drive, runs out of room, passes it off to Rice for three. His three-pointer no good. Pulled in by McClurg. Now the Vulcans going the other way in transition. Whitehead and McClurg play a game of catch, and now Polak in the post. Had some room, passed it off to Hall. Hall gets it off to McClurg. McClurg with the step-back three-pointer. His shot too strong. And nice move by Dillon to spin away from the pressure.
So I talked about may not be the biggest guy on the floor, but he's got some skill.
Great moves by Dillon, and the layup attempt just too short. Thought maybe he had some contact in there. Now nice pass inside from Hall. Extra pass. One more as Hall able to keep it in. Nearly loses the handle of it. Hall on the drive, gets it off to Palick, and Palick went for the slam. Gets denied, but is going to get fouled. I believe that one going to go against Samuel Tabe, and Keith Palick will go to the line.
I want to go back to what started that drive down the court. Is what happened, and Whitehead got out some of the basketball, so a little bit of a block there. Big help there as Palick hits the first one, and that's not a guy you want to send to the line as Keith Palick.
Yeah, knockdown free throw shooter as DJ Slaughter going to check back into the game for the Vulcans. Cam Polak will head to the bench as well, and Palick misses the second. And the lead back to 5 for the Vulcans, 11-6, 13:25 left to play as Ryan Meese, number 24 for the Griffins, with the ball now just checked back into the game during that timeout as well. Gets switched on to Palick here. Meese on the drive. Tough shot. Gets it to go plus the foul. So Ryan Meese has a chance to make it a 3-point game, or a 2-point game, excuse me. They're going to call that foul against Donald Whitehead Jr. That'll be his first. And into the game for the Griffins will be number 11, Michael Joyner, the senior guard out of Alexandria, Virginia. I almost said Michael Jordan for a second. That would have been a dangerous sight to see. I feel like that's going to be interesting. Imagine just Michael Jordan pulling up to a random Division II basketball game and just getting on the court.
Right.
He's still got a year of eligibility, right? He didn't go all 4 at UNC. He can go back. As Meese misses the free throw, does not convert the 3-point play. They're changing the score a little bit on the scoreboard. It was 11, and now it's back to 12 for the Vulcans, so 4-point lead for them. As they're able to escape the trap set by the Griffins. Whitehead inside, pass off to Hall, and Hall just trying to adjust midair, can't get the finish. Now the Griffins going the other way. Tabe, nice drive inside. Shot with the left hand. Went in and out, no good, but an offensive board. Second chance shot, good. That time, Gabe Gillespie able to finish.
Yeah, and I talked about it earlier on the broadcast. The fact that Cal gives up too many second and third chances, and right there we saw it.
Yeah, good positioning that time by Gillespie inside the 6'6" forward. Able to make his mark on the game. Pass inside to Palick. Loses control of it. Good hands that time by Whitaker. And the Griffins 3-on-2 the other way. Whitaker finds Meese in the corner for a 3. That one too strong. And you heard the collective groan of the Griffins fans who thought that they were about to take the lead.
Yeah, because it has been a while since Seton Hill has had the lead. California has led most of this.
McClurg gets it inside to Hall. Turnaround jumper for him. In and out, no good. And Whitaker pulls in the board. This zone defense the Vulcans have not been able to crack. Whitaker trying to pass it off inside to Gillespie. It's going to take a couple of ricochets on its way out of bounds. Going to end up going off of a Griffin player out of bounds. So the Vulcans will get the ball after this media timeout.
And that was a bit exact. And while we got a second here, let's talk about if you're on campus looking for a place to live. Check out Vulcan Village. They have full front, they have a full kitchen, and a couple over It was a very nice furnishing, and who knows, you might be able to go say hi to our GA Tom.
Yeah, Vulcan Village is the place to stay on campus. You can schedule a tour today, either virtually. They have a bunch of virtual tours you can check out, or you can take a look on one in person. Make sure to check out their website, vulcanvillage.com, and schedule a tour today. Coming back into this game as I hear the cheerleaders to our left giving a little bit of a cheer to the Griffin faithful here inside of the McKenna building here. And the Vulcans, like we talked about, got out to a decent lead early, but over the last couple of minutes just have not been able to get the offense going.
Yeah, and see what California comes up with for a strategy as from the three-point line, 0 for 6 so far, and they count nearly 2 minutes, and they haven't scored a bucket. And so, Coach Sankum's going to try to come up with some sort of strategy here, and Jermaine Hall's looking for that inside pass so he can throw one down.
I have no idea if we have 11 points or 10 points because they keep switching it back and forth on the scoreboard. It was at 11 a moment ago, and now it's back up to 12.
I think it was supposed to be 12.
And good defensive effort that time. It was Michael Joyner, a cross-court pass from McClurg, trying to find Slaughter, and Joyner able to not only prevent it from getting to Slaughter, but tips it out of bounds off of him. And so now the Griffins are going to get the ball back. 11:30 left to play here in the first half. The Griffins looking to either tie the game or take the lead here. It's going to be Joyner looking for some help. Tries to pass it down low into Moon, but gets tipped out of bounds by Whitehead. The Vulcans are going to make a substitution into the game. Will be Cam Polak. DJ Slaughter going to head to the bench, and the Griffins are going to inbound the ball with 15 left on the shot clock. Waiting the whistle from the referee. It's going to be Dylan to inbound. Gets it into Tabe. Tabe, nice quick crossover move, and Hall got up there early, and Tabe, unfazed by the help rotation from Jermaine Hall, gets that shot to go and ties things up.
Yeah, and Tabe is just so strong. I've seen this from a couple of times watching this team, and he's going to play that same way all night long.
8 points for him already in this game as Whitehead nearly loses a handle on that one. Finds Hall in the corner. Jermaine Hall Jr. for 3. Nearly gets a shooter's roll, but Polak on the scene, able to pull in that board. And going to get fouled on his way up. Did a good job at pump faking, waiting for the defender to get up, and draws the contact and will head to the line.
And that's going to be big here.
That foul will go against number 3, Samuel Tabe. That'll be his second. So 2 fouls in just under 10 minutes. Something to keep an eye out for him as Polak, unable to make the first free throw, has been struggling as of recently in the last couple of games. Had a decent performance against IUP, but I remember in the beginning of the season was scoring 20-something points every single game, but just hasn't been at that level as he's able to knock down that second free throw.
Yeah, coming into the 73% from the charity stripe, but gets 1 out of 2 and gives the Vulcans lead back once again.
Joyner with the drive, loses control, but now Whitehead with so much speed going the other way. And Donald Whitehead Jr., the Don himself, able to get his first basket of the game. Now quickly the other way. It's going to be Green in the corner for a 3. That shot no good, and Hall did a good job of pulling in that board, boxing out Tabe, and Tabe is going to pick up his third.
Yeah, if you're Seton Hill, you don't want one of your big stars fouling out this early in the game, so he's going to go to the bench. And it's probably going to be a while before we see him. And also Omise is going to go to the bench and take a seat.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see much of him until potentially the second half. And a good mention to me by our director, Gary Smith, that not a single one of the members on the floor right now for Seton Hill have scored yet in this game. So they made all these substitutions. Now the ball inside to Hall. Hall ran out of room and just took one too many steps. A little bit uncomfortable inside the paint, going to get called for the travel.
And just drug that back foot a little bit too far on that one.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. Just under 10 left to play here in the first half. Vulcans up by 3. what started off as a bright game in terms of scoring has kind of turned into a slugfest over the last couple of minutes from both teams as they kind of just seem off the mark offensively. Joyner with the drive and gets it to go plus the foul. Michael Joyner, beautiful drive from him and has the chance to tie it up.
That's going to be the first point from a player off the bench for the Griffins tonight.
Exactly what they needed to get back into this game. Michael Joyner, the senior guard, 6'5" out of Alexandria, Virginia, went to Hayfield Secondary High School. Shout out. Has the chance to tie it here, and like he talked about, first bench points of the game for the Griffins, but unable to make the free throw, but good job by Jimmy Moon inside, able to tip it out. Dylan on the drive. High shot, no good. Polak comes down with the board. And the Vulcans don't really have numbers. Everyone's trailing, and the Vulcans able to get out of it. McClurg keeps it alive, able to find Hall, gets it back up top to Whitehead, and now the Vulcans look to reset offensively. The Griffins switching to a 3-2 zone now as Polak and McClurg up top, trying to find any sort of space, but good hands by Dylan. The Griffins with numbers the other way. Good block by Cam Polak, cut up there and rejected Whitaker off the glass. The ball's going to end up going out of bounds, but great hustle by Cam Polak.
And the Vulcans barking that it went off a Seton Hill player before it went out of bounds, but they're not going to hear it. And I wish we had a replay. Great block by the Vulcans.
I mean, Polak, not the tallest, 6'2", got up there, and it was Whitaker on the drive. So Whitaker, not the tallest of guards either, but Polak got up there and able to get it out of bounds and prevents the Griffins, from taking the lead here. 14-15 your score. 9:05 left to play here in the first half. Moon hands it off to Dylan off the inbound. Dylan decides to pull up from three. His shot too short, and Palak able to secure that board. And the Vulcans the other way. Whitehead, now McClurg. And this zone defense has been lethal so far from the Griffins. Hall received that pass, but had his foot on the baseline. Going to end up being another turnover here for the Vulcans.
And that's been something. I looked at the stat sheet here between games. Right now, California has turned the ball over more times than their opponents, especially after that IUP game. Not by much, but it's still. You can't be doing that, especially if you want to win basketball games.
Travel called on the other end, so both teams trading turnovers back and forth. But like you talked about, ball security for the Vulcans has not been up to standard, I'd say, so far this season. But with a young team, you kind of expect those kind of silly mistakes. The Vulcans on offense once again, looking to extend their lead. Whitehead on the drive inside. Foul going to get called on the court, so Vulcan's going to get the ball back. That one's going to go against number 24, Ryan Meese. That'll be his first. That'll be the team's fifth. So Vulcan's 2 fouls away from entering the bonus. Palak on the inbound for the Vulcans, gets it into Whitehead. Slaughter gets it inside to Hall. Hall looking for some help, but loses control of it. Good hands by Rice, and now the Griffins going the other way. Meese gets up there and finishes through Jermaine Hall and takes the lead for the Griffins.
And I thought Hall was going to reject that one, but he's got up there and over the big man.
Slaughter gets it over to Whitehead. This zone defense causing all sorts of problems for the Vulcans as Slaughter back up top to Whitehead. Whitehead inside to Palak. Palak gets fouled in the shooting motion. Not motion. I cannot speak today. And Palak will go to the line after this immediate timeout and trying to take the lead back for the Vulcans as they're down by 16-15.
While we got a second here, we're going to take a look at the PSAC West standings right now. IUP is still undefeated right now. And a perfect 17-0 on the season, followed by Mercyhurst, who got the better of UPJ, is now all taking over second place now. 9-2 in conference play, 13-2 overall. UPJ, who we'll see on Saturday, 8-3 in conference play, 12-5 overall. Slippery Rock right behind them with the same overall record, but at 6-5, and tied with them is Seton Hill. And just behind that is California, looking for that to get back in the win column here and try to get back into the playoffs right now. Oh, if they were to start today, California would be out. Oh, still looking for that last spot out here, followed by Edinburgh, Clarion, and Gannett, and who are still looking for both of their first conference wins so far this year.
Yeah, Gannett's still looking for that first win of the season. The Vulcans still have a couple of weeks before they play them at home in the Combo Center. But like you talked about, this game very important for the standings. The Vulcans about a game and a half back in terms of like how the conference will shake up. So both teams have a lot to gain here. If the Griffins able to win, we're able to advance forward. And I'm not sure what awaiting the results of the Slippery Rock game going on as well. They would have the chance to either remain tied or jump up to fourth place, sole possession of fourth place in the conference. And the Vulcans have a chance to play catch-up here if they're able to get the win, able to move up to potentially fifth, depending on some results and everything that may vary, and have the chance to get themselves into the playoff spot.
And the other thing is Slippery Rock's playing one of the tougher teams in the East right now, as Palak makes the first one. And as they have Lockhaven tonight, so we'll keep an eye on that one for sure.
Yeah, we saw the Vulcans face off against Lockhaven earlier on in the season, and Lockhaven able to get the better end of that game as Palak makes both free throws, restores the 1-point lead for the Vulcans. And Seton Hill going the other way, trying to take the lead back once again. It's going to be Rice, guarded by Slaughter, gets it over to Joyner. Joyner driving inside, dumps it down low to Moon. And an offensive foul going to be called, I believe, once again, going to go against Jimmy Moon. So Jimmy Moon, one of the only starters still on the court for the Griffins, has not done a whole lot so far. That he's just going to pick up his second foul.
I know, it's been a close game, but at the fact that you have Moon, who's been one of the bigger scorers for this Griffin lineup up at Bay, speaks volumes on this Vulcan team.
Yeah, he hasn't even taken a shot yet in this game for California. As nice pass by Hall to find Palak, and Palak with the moving mid-range jumper gets it to go. Whistle blown after the fact.
Net was stuck, so they had to get it fixed.
I mean, we saw that earlier on in the women's game, and they just let him play on. And we saw some of the fans down below us getting a little bit upset because, like, guys, you got to fix it because the net was in amongst itself. But we're back underway. Rice gets it over to Joyner in the corner. Back up top to Rice. Rice on the drive, nice crossover move, but another offensive foul. That one, you can see the reaction from the bench, maybe a little bit soft as they're going to call Rice there for the push-off.
I'm surprised that one got called because I thought it was going to be a simple touch and go on that one. But we're up here, the refs are down there. That's why they get paid to do that, and we're up. We get paid to be up here.
Yeah, not something you see too often. Is that push-off play, but that'll be the 8th foul of the first half for the Griffins. And now the Vulcans going the other way. Hall takes the three-pointer from up top and gets it to go. And the Vulcans 6-point lead now after that three.
And that's going to give Hall 8 on the night now.
Rice takes the screen from Moon, just trying to get the angle right. Pass it off to Meese in the corner. Meese back up top to Rice for 3. That one off the side of the rim, but Green right there to pull in the board. And the Griffins reset once again. Meese going to take the screen from Moon. Meese gets it over to Joyner. Joyner for 3. That one off the mark. And Hall able to pull in that one. Hall on the far side gets it back up top to Whitehead. Now Hall and now Palak in the corner for 3. Off the mark. No good. Meese pulls in the board. And the Meese dribbled off of McClurg's foot, but the Griffins able to get it back once again.
Honestly surprised they didn't call a kickball violation in that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised to see that call either, as Meese comes off the catch-and-shoot 3. And that one just off the mark a little bit, did not make contact with the rim, goes out of bounds. The Vulcans will get the ball back. 5:40 left to play here in the first half, and the Vulcans with a 6-point lead, 22-16.
Just a stat to give you real quick, John, as I look at the stats right now. California, 4 of 12 so far are for 3. Seton Hill 0 for 11.
A jump stop inside by DJ Slaughter, but took an extra step on his way in there as he was trying to pass off to Whitehead. Going to get called for the travel. So the Vulcans had a chance to capitalize on these last couple of turnovers by Seton Hill, but just haven't been able to do so.
4-point swing here if Seton Hill capitalizes.
Absolutely. Is now it's going to be Whitaker on the drive. Nice head of steam going downhill, but his shot too strong, but Moon pulls in the board. Green working his way inside, finds Moon in the corner. Pump fake from him, thought about the shot, pass it off to Dylan. Excuse me. Dylan very shifty, guarded by Hall. Deep three from him. And maybe took, Dylan, I know at least, thought maybe Hall got a little bit of contact with it, but that one was not anywhere close to the net. Yeah, that's a bad stat. You just point out Seton Hill 0 for 12 from 3-point range so far in this game. Hall, pump fake, step back three for him, and that one off the mark. So both teams not doing a great job from 3-point land in the last couple of possessions. Mace, pass it off to Dylan, nearly saves it. Coach Sankum wanted the travel called on him. Nice crossover move and a kind of a circus shot by Mace, doesn't go in. And now Whitehead gets it to McClurg. McClurg from three. His shot no good. And both teams kind of just at this breakneck pace going back and forth. Dylan in transition. Passes it inside to Whitaker. Whitaker, nice jump step to get advantage over Whitehead and finishes. And finally someone scores.
Yeah, looking at the stats right now, all 9 of 29 Seton Hill from around the field. Old California, 7 of 21.
Yeah, both teams not off to the races here on offense to start the game. Hall nearly loses control of it. Able to get it back, getting double team in the corner. Gets it all the way back up top to Palick. One dribble and a pull up from him. Shot no good. Hall with the offensive board. His second chance shot gets blocked, but Slaughter able to save it. Whitehead with a floater, and Donald Whitehead gets that to go again.
And that was a big bucket there for the California Vulcans. In 3 minutes without a bucket after that.
And the foul called on the drive by Dylan. This one, I believe, going to go against Whitehead again. That's going to be his second. He's going to pick up his second with 3:36 left to play here in the first half. Vulcans up by 6, 24-18 as we head into another media timeout. Yeah,
and we talked about it earlier. We'll talk about it again. And on campus, looking for your own place to live, check out Vulcan Village. You can schedule a virtual or an in-person tour, or a full furnished kitchen and nice bedroom. And great experience. Live up on Vulcan, up just behind in the Edmonton Stadium. Also might get a chance to run into our GA top.
And amongst many others, we do have a note. Sierra Lloyd in that game against the Griffins earlier on had 18 assists, was tied for second most in PSAC in school history with that game, the record being 21, and is the most in a NCAA division game this year in all divisions. So Sierra Lloyd having a phenomenal night in game number 1 of the doubleheader today.
Yeah, and I was going to say, she was playing like a woman possessed earlier here in that matchup. So
and she had 13 assists in the first half.
Yeah, I was going to say, she had 13 assists in the first half, and then between some of the buckets she was making in that game and just some of the passes she got off in that game were astounding. And if I'm Gary, I don't want to be the one that has to cut the highlights tonight, but unfortunately it's going to be him.
Yeah, they'll say that again. So with 18 assists tonight, that is second all-time in school and in PSAC history. And on the season, that is the most in any division of NCAA basketball, men and women. 18 assists for Sierra Lloyd tonight. But we're back underway here once again. It's going to be Dylan for three. Shot no good, and the offensive woes continue for him. Euro step inside by Rice, and thought about the shot but passed it off instead, and the Vulcans able to steal that one away.
And that's what we're talking about, the turnover game. 8 turnovers on both sides right now.
Yeah, both teams not controlling the ball super well. McClure gets it down low to Hannah. Caden Hannah just checked into the game. Hall with the tough 2, gets that one to go and gets himself another basket. It's going to be 8 points now for Jermaine Hall Jr. Rice, nice pass inside. And with the contact, Gabe Gillespie able to finish. And I kind of understand his frustration. Had a word to the referee because he's like, I just got pushed there, and I was still able to make the shot.
That's all I thought. That one might have gone either way. Is he got hit right in the face? We know they're trying to go watch the fouls with the head.
Palick gets it over to McClurg. McClurg going to the baseline, pass it back out top to Hannah. Hannah gets it inside to Palick from the elbow, gets that one to go as easy as he liked. and that's going to be double digits on the game for Keith Palak. 10 points for him.
I believe that's going to lead all scorers on the floor right now.
Dylan up top to Joyner. Joyner, nice crossover move, gets it to Dylan in the corner for 3. And finally, Sean Dillon able to make a 3-pointer. So far has not been his afternoon, but now 1 of 6. It cuts the lead to 5.
For the team, that's going to put them 1 of 14.
Beautiful pass from Palak, able to find Hannah inside, and Hannah able to get his first basket, gives the Vulcans 7-point lead once again. Dylan gets the switch on, pass it off to Rice. Rice gets it inside to Whitaker. Whitaker on the drive. His shot just misses. No good. But is going to get fouled. And Caleb Whitaker, I was combining him and Michael Joyner's name together. Caleb Whitaker is going to head to the line to shoot 2.
Whitaker on the season shooting 48% and exactly on the year.
Whitaker's first shot gets that one to go. The junior guard/forward from Springfield, Virginia, went to Robert E. Lee High School. Able to knock down the first one. Cuts the lead to 6. And California still doing a decent job at maintaining this lead so far. But the Griffins have a couple of answers to that as well. Second shot no good. And this is a big possession here for California. 1:35 left to play here in the first half. Have a chance to push this lead to going into half. Slaughter and McClurg playing a game of pitch and catch. Now inside to Palak. Palak looking for some room. Runs into a wall and Jimmy Moon. And Palak going to move his pivot foot. Going to get called for the travel, and the ball's going to end up back into possession of the Griffins.
And Palak not liking that call too much.
Into the game for the Griffins. Caleb Whitaker going to check out of the game. Number 2, Drew Green, going to come back in once again. 1:15 left to play here in the first half. And the Griffins have a chance to make it a 1-possession game. As Dylan gets hauled to jump, passes it off, gets it right back. Just trying to slow things down. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Green in the corner for 3. That one no good, but Jimmy Moon able to pull on the offensive board. Second chance shot for him, and he's finally able to get himself on the board and makes it a 4-point game.
Yeah, that was a big one for the Griffins. But in California, you're going to want to get another bucket quick, as Coach Sanctum's going to call timeout and talk strategy.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't take that timeout, they lose it regardless. So no chance, no hurt in taking that one. That'll stop the clock with 41.1 seconds left here in the first half. About a 16-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So the Vulcans, once again, after this timeout, have a chance to push this lead. 4-point lead going into half against Seton Hill. It would be nice. You want to take that lead into half, but having a chance to push it even more would sit much better with the Vulcans if they're able to do so. And we talked about it earlier. The 3-point percentage is where the Vulcans usually that's usually where they're making their money, but on the day have not been able to knock it down. Hall shooting the best, 2 for 4 for him, 50%, but Palak 1 for 5, McClurg 1 for 3, Polak 0 for 2, and Slaughter 0 for 1. So all 5 of those players not shooting particularly well from 3-point land. We're back underway once again. It's going to be Hall coming off the screen up top for a 3. His shot no good. Moon pulls in the board. There's virtually maybe half a second between the shot clock and the game clock. So the Griffins are going to wind this down to take one more shot. Dylan guarded by Hannah. Pulling out the crossover package. Gets switched on to Hall. Pass up to Moon for a 3. Deep 3 from Moon. Gets it to go. The Vulcans still have some chance at the buzzer. Palak from half court. Shot no good. And that will be the end of the first half here in the McKenna Center. Johnny, any final thoughts of that first half?
Vulcans are going to need to tighten things up here number one, and protect that basketball a little bit more. or Aaron, keep an eye out for that three-point line. But other than that, the Vulcans are going to have to just keep playing what their game's been but tighten things up a little bit.
30-29 your score. The Vulcans lead. We're going to be right back here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the McKenna Center for the start of the second half here between California and Seton Hill. That first half, kind of a back and forth affair, not the cleanest of halves of basketball from either team, but the Vulcans emerge with a 1-point lead, 30-29. We do have some halftime stats to look at and talk about. So, Johnny, what do we got?
So starting off with your California Vulcans, 11 of 28 from the field, rolled just under 40%. And on the evening, Seton Hill 13 of 35, just over 37% and from around the field. At the three-point line, California 4 of 16, shooting 25%, and beyond the arc, Seton Hill 2 of 16. Both of those coming from Jimmy Moon for three. 12.5%. At the charity stripe, California 4 of 6, Seton Hill 1 of 6. Both teams tied at 22 apiece in the rebound department. However, California has 17 defensive rebounds to the Griffins 13. Offensive boards, the Griffins have out-rebounded on the Vulcans 9-5. Even on that one, turnovers 9-8. Seton Hill has 8. The Vulcans with 9. And the other thing to keep an eye on has been the points off those turnovers. California has made Seton Hill pay, and same with the Griffins. 12-10 in that department. California leads it. And so something to watch there. Steals as well. California 3 steals, Seton Hill 4 blocks in this game, 3-2 in favor of the Griffins.
Yeah, like we said, I've definitely seen cleaner halves of basketball from two teams, but kind of a sluggish affair here in the McKenna Center. The Vulcans just barely getting the better edge of it in that first half, and looking at some other interesting things as well that we talked about. Seton Hill have not been able to knock down many threes. 22 points in the paint for them compared to the Vulcans' 8. So definitely having a huge presence in that regard. We get back underway here. The Vulcans, for your second half, will be going from left to right. The Griffins going from right to left. Still playing this zone defense are the Griffins. Palick dribbles it out, receives the pass back, takes a couple dribbles inside, and a mid-range floater from him gets that one to go, and another basket made for Keith Palick.
That's big to start the second half here. You went into the locker room with a 1-point lead. Now you got to back up to 3.
Dylan passes it off to Mice in the corner. Dribbles back out, gets it back up top to Dylan. Guarded by McClurg. Dylan on the drive. Pass it back outside to Green. Green with a spin move to get into the lane. Tough shot, no good. Palick pulls in the board. And the Vulcans going the other way. Palick gets it off to Polak. Polak to McClurg, but McClurg getting double teamed. Polak, the deep 3. That shot off the mark, no good. And then Green on that was Sabe on the rebound attempt, stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, Sabe picked up the rebound, wasn't aware of where he was. It stepped right on that corner spot there in the end of the court.
That's what happens when you got huge feet. Just one of the unlucky parts of that. As Palick gets it inside to Hall. Hall, nice job at saving and firing it back outside to Palick. Now Slaughter with the mid-range jumper gets that one to go. That's his first basket of the game, and a 5-point lead now for the Vulcans. And now Sabe inside. Good hands by Hall to nearly strip that one away, but Sabe retains possession. His shot no good. Gets his own rebound. Second chance shot no good. But Keith Palick is going to end up fouling him, and Samuel Tabe, going to head to the line.
And that's the thing we've been talking about all night. Those second, third chances the Vulcans will get living the Griffins.
Samuel Tabe, the senior guard, 6'5", out of Prince George's County, Maryland. Went to High Point High School. Misses the first one, and he's been one of the biggest contributors to this Griffin offense so far. 8 points for him, but in that first half did have 3 fouls, so something to keep an eye on for the rest of the game as he misses the second, but Moon able to get the offensive board, and now the Griffins go against Tabe on the drive. Can't get the shot to go, and the Vulcans able to secure the rebound. Now McClurg loses control of it. Great hustle by Dylan, but fighting for it still are both teams. And it looks like the Griffins are going to get possession of the ball. They're going to jump on top of it and call a timeout.
Yeah, it's a smart move there by the Griffins on that one. and to call timeout and get the basketball back. And so they'll have some time to work with, and they're going to talk strategy here about what they're going to do when they come out of this timeout.
And while we have a second, we can take a look at the PSAC West standings once again. Talk about the number 1 ranked IUP Crimson Hawks sitting alone up top, 11-0 in the conference, 17-0 overall. And following behind them are Mercier's 9-2 in conference play. Following them, Pitt Johnstown 8-3, Slippery Rock and Seton Hill both sitting at 6-5, and then the Vulcans just behind them at 4-7, Edinburgh at 3-8, and then Clarion and Gannon 0-11 in conference play. So like we talked about, this game definitely has some high implications on the standings going forward for the rest of the season.
Do got a couple score updates for you, say 8, but we're keeping on a few games. IUP is now retaking the lead at the half. They're up over Edinburgh 33-25 in that one, so still a close matchup there. They're over right now. It started the second half of Gannon out to a 45-36 lead over Clarion right now. We'll see both of those teams here in a couple of weeks.
Hey, it'd be nice if Gannon can finally get their first win.
And right now, UPJ leads Mercyhurst at the half, 32-27 in that one. And we got to remember, all the losses that UPJ's had, it's been the top 25 opponents. They have not lost anybody unranked yet. And then this one, and getting ready to start in the second half, Lockhaven leads Slippery Rock 37-23 right now.
And so if that result stands and the Griffins are able to get a win here, that would definitely help them out in the standings. But we're back underway as Tabe driving inside. His shot won't go. But once again, they're able to get the rebound, but Tabe going to get called for the travel, and the Vulcans luckily going to escape that one with possession.
Yeah. Tabe slid across the floor and couldn't get the basketball moving. He's got to be able to keep control of it.
18-10 left to play here in the second half. Vulcans with a 5-point lead. Looking to build upon that once again. Slaughter to Polak. Now McClurg on the far side gets it inside to Palick. Palick steps back for 3. His shot no good. Hall able to get the rebound. His shot no good. And Jimmy Moon able to pull in that one. Now the Griffins going quickly the other way with Dylan. Dylan, nice crossover move. Going baseline here. Dribbles it back out. Gets Polak to jump. And it gets the shot to go. So Sean Dylan cuts the lead down to 3.
That's we talked about California giving up too many of these second and third chances. Is they got to capitalize when they get those chances as well, though.
Slaughter gets decked by Mises. He was trying to intercept that pass.
I thought we were playing basketball, not hockey.
I mean, he just got floored. That was like a freight train came out and just ran him right over. But it looks like he seems to be all right. That's going to be Mises' second. The team's first of the half. Polak to inbound. The Vulcans are back underway once again. Slaughter gets it inside to Hall. Hall getting double, even triple teamed. Able to get the ball away. Slaughter on the drive, takes the tough mid-range pull-up jumper, gets that one to go. Second basket of the game for DJ Slaughter. And now Tabe going the other way, and Palick couldn't get his feet set in time. And Tabe going to draw the foul and make the basket. So an and one play here for Samuel Tabe to cut the game to 2.
And Coach Sankum and Keith Palick up in arms over that one. So I think that's what the refs are talking about. If the bucket should count or not. And they were saying, and he wasn't even going up yet.
And you can see Coach Sankum not happy about that call, but the basket, I was trying to say basket and bucket at the same time. Kid said basket. It's not the word I was looking for. The bucket will count. And Tabe at the line, able to make the free throw, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game.
And these are two of the highest scoring teams here in the PSAC West. Slaughter
Controlling the offense here for California. Going to get called for the travel as that pivot foot just moved a little bit, and he's going to force another turnover for Cal. And after that one, Coach Sankum not happy. Going to bring in the Don himself, Donald Whitehead Jr. back in off of the bench.
Whitehead already with 4 points on the evening.
16:40 left to play. Tabe once again on the drive, trying to go up against Palick. Ran out of room, gets it back up top. It's going to be in the hands of Dylan. Dylan with a nice crossover move, gets himself inside. Can't get the shot to go, and good job by McClurg. Finally draws that charging foul, but Dylan may potentially have gotten hurt as he's slow to get up on the back end after taking that foul.
He went up and went down hard. Glad to see he's up, and they're going to change the call saying it's a blocking foul. I don't know if I can agree with that.
I mean, I heard the fans in front of us talking, and they said they were in the same position as it was the same spot as the last call, and the last call was a block, and this one was a charge. What changed? And apparently nothing has changed. It's now Sean Dillon, who hopefully looks, and everything seems to be okay with him. He's going to head to the line and shoot 2 and look to tie things up here. And you see KJ McClurg there talking to the referee, just trying to get an explanation, because like he said, both of those fouls could have gone either way. Both of them could have been blocking fouls. Both of them could have been charging fouls. And now Dylan and McClurg exchanging some words, and that's gotten the Seton Hill fans and the bench fired up.
Because right now McClurg just looking to get in for an explanation, trying to get something on the call. And Seton Hill had to say something, but luckily no technical was called.
And we saw this in the game against IUP, where the Vulcans kind of started to lose their head a little bit. I mean, obviously that being a rivalry game, but this one, as Dylan makes the first, this game is so close that there is no room and no margin for error, and there's no room for stuff like that. You can't give up silly techs like there were in that IUP game, because that's just going to lead to free points for the other team. Looks like the whistle blown, and Dylan going to go back to the line once again to try to tie things up here at 36. And he does so, and the fans have definitely come alive here in the second half. They're a lot more into this game, especially after that sequence of events. And after all of that, we're tied at 36 with under 16:30 left to play. Whitehead on the ball, gets it over to Polak. Polak, who has struggled this game so far, gets it over now to Whitehead once again. On McClurg to Whitehead. Whitehead inside to Polak. Turnaround jumper for him, and Cam Polak gets it to go. It's going to be crucial for him to get hot here in the second half.
And if we can see that McClurg that we saw at the beginning of the season, and now would be the time.
Meese pulls up from 3. Moving 3, no good. Whitehead pulls in the board. The Vulcans have some sprinters going the other way, but Whitehead gets it over to Hall. Hall trying to find Pallet, gets that one stolen away. 2-on-2 the other way for the Griffins. Meese, nice move to get inside, but can't get the shot to go. The ball's going to end up going out of bounds off of the Griffins. I was trying to see where they were pointing, and all I heard was the referee screaming, "Black ball, it's Black's ball." So the Vulcans going to get the ball back after this media timeout.
So we got a second here. Up to 8. Clarion's cut that lead down now. 47-43 to score in that one. And UPJ is starting to have their lead diminish. But while we got a second, and don't forget, folks, if you're looking for somewhere to live on campus, just make sure you check out Vulcan Village. Schedule yourself a in-person or an online tour today. Just go to vulcanvillage.com.
I'm looking at the Seton Hill's record so far in the season. They've lost 6 games. And in those 6 games, they've been in stretches. They lost 3 games in a row, 1 to Davis and Elkins in double overtime, 100-95. Then to Lockhaven, about 20 points, and then 10-point loss to Mansfield. And then they won, and then they lost 3 straight games to Kutztown, Westchester, and IUP. And if they're able to if they lose this game today, and that trend continues, their next couple opponents are not easy at all. I mean, they're facing off against Gannon after this, who hopefully looking for their first win, but and if they're able to get a win, that's still a ton of confidence in them. And then they play Mercyhurst, and then they play IUP, and then they play Slippery Rock right after that. So it's a tough stretch of games here for the Griffins.
Well, we got another update. 8. Slippery Rock trying to cut their way back into this game. 39-28 right now against Lockhaven.
And Seton Hill would benefit highly if they're able to get a win here, and Slippery Rock are able to lose that game. We're back underway once again, 15:35 left to play here in the second half. The Vulcans with a 2-point lead. Whitehead gets over to McClurg. Now Polak. Under some pressure, Palick cross-court pass to McClurg. McClurg on the drive, tough shot. Can't get that one to go, doesn't even make contact with the rim. And Joyner able to pull on the board. Now the Griffins going the other way. Dribbles that one off of Palick's foot. Now the Vulcans have numbers the other way. Polak gets the pass from McClurg and finishes. 4-point lead restored for the Vulcans.
That was big there, and that's a big turnover. 4-point swing there.
Tabe gets it over to Whitaker. Whitaker to Tabe in the corner for 3. His three-pointer no good. And fighting for the offensive board, going to end up off of the hands of Whitehead and end up out of bounds. Griffin basketball. Him and Gabe Gillespie going up for it. It's going to end up out of play. And like you talked about, the rebounding for this game, especially in the offensive end, has not been great for the Vulcans, especially with all that height of the Griffins. As Tabe works his way inside, gets it over to Rice. Pump fake from him, takes the corner 3. Shot no good, and Palick finally able to secure the defensive board for the Vulcans.
And the woes for Seton Hill from beyond the arc continue. 2 of 20 now on the night.
Yeah, just not been their day. And Keith Palick already with a double-double, 13 rebounds for him as Polak from 3. That one too short, rebounded by Gillespie. Whitaker in the corner. Starts to post up Polak. Gets good position, but great hands by Hall. The Vulcans 3-on-2 the other way. Hall, McClurg able to finish. Great, beautiful transition move by the Vulcans there.
That's Seton Hill's been in scoreless now. 2.5 minutes, and it's California on a bit of a run. 6-0 run here in the last 2:35.
Yeah, that is the textbook transition play as Meese with a nice spin move. Can't get the shot to go. And fighting for that rebound is Gillespie again. Going to end up off of Hall out of bounds. So Vulcan's going to get the ball back. 2 substitutions made here for the Griffins as Dillon and Green both going to check back in. Dillon to inbound. The Vulcans up by 6, 42-36, 13-39 left to play here in the second half. Fake handoff by Gillespie trying to get it. He's going to get fouled underneath the basket again. This time going to go against Hall, I believe. That'll be his first. That's going to be the team's 4th foul of the half. Green gets it off to Dillon. Dillon thought about the shot, didn't take a nice step-back move from him. His 3-point shot, no good. And Palick able to secure that rebound. The Vulcans just need to slow things down here, and looks like exactly what they're doing. The 2-3 zone still in effect here for the Griffins. Hall up top gets it over to the near side with Whitehead. Now back up top to McClurg. Hall on the far side. Back up top to Polak. Polak trying to penetrate, create some space. McClurg for 3. His shot no good. Second chance effort is good, but foul called on the floor, and the ball is going to stay down on this end as that one's going to go against Seton Hill.
And that definitely helped out for the Vulcans. Gives them a fresh shot clock. Some more time to kill. Oh, for sure. As we're almost to the halfway mark, and another chance, another 2 points.
And that foul going to go against Mice. That'll be his 3rd. Something to pay attention to as the game goes into its dying stages. As Palick gets it back up top to Whitehead. Now Polak inside to Hall. And this zone defense has been a nightmare for the Vulcans as Palick driving, finds McClurg underneath. McClurg able to find Hall, and Hall able to finish, plus the foul. Thought he was going to slam it down, but takes and embraces the contact and has the chance to convert the 3-point play.
Good play there by Jermaine Hall, all just mid-air. Get the bucket and the foul. Chance to finish the 3-point play, and we've seen Hall do this a couple of times this year.
10 points for him, can make it 11 here at the line. And I just heard a fan makes the worst noise I think I've ever heard in my life as Hall knocks down the free throw. 9-point game now with 12:35 left to play. Whitaker on the drive. Hall nearly steals that one, We're going to get called for the reach in, and you see he's not happy about that one.
And I have to agree with him on that one. And it looked clean from where we were.
Yeah, the ball looked like it was in limbo, so it was kind of anyone's chance to just go for it. And Hall going to get penalized for that one. Whitaker receives the inbound pass, gets it off to Meese. Meese takes the screen from Gillespie, gets it back up top to Whitaker. Whitaker on the drive, can't get the shot to go, and still fighting for that rebound. Is going to end up in the hands of Gillespie again, or Whitaker again, excuse me. The baskets wave off, but the ball's still going to remain down here as there's another foul from the Vulcans.
And that's going to be their 6th foul now of the half.
That'll be McClurg's 3rd, and we saw him foul out in the game against IUP. He already has 3 here with 12:17 left to play. Jimmy Moon going to come back into the game here for the Vulcans. For the Griffins, and for the Vulcans, DJ Slaughter going to come into the game. Looks like Palick going to head to the bench, and a similar situation to in the first half to what Jermaine Hall had, where it looks maybe had a potential cut opening with some bleeding. Going to need to get that cleared up and taken care of before he can come back.
And I think we're just going to get a timeout on the floor so they can clean that up.
Yeah.
So Palick's going to stay in the game, and McClurg's going to go to the bench.
It looks like they're going to take KJ out and preserve him for the last couple of minutes. Like we talked about, he's already on 3 fouls. So don't want him to pick another one up here super quickly. And you see him receiving a nice talking to over on the sideline from Coach Sankum, just trying to instill some confidence in his young guard. Like we talked about, KJ McClurg playing like he's a lot older than he is. Well, only a freshman coming in from Morgantown, West Virginia, and he's just been great addition to this Vulcan team this season.
Yeah, 7 points on the night from McClurg. Or a couple of rebounds and assists, but you don't want your star freshman to get into trouble.
Dylan with the nice crossover moves. Dumps it down underneath to Whitaker, and Whitaker finishes cleanly. Cuts the lead even more. I mean, like you talked about, Dylan, not the tallest, but so crafty and so quick on the ball, able to shift it every which way to get the defenders out of position. Hall with the mid-range jumper. His shot no good. And Meese able to get the board. Griffins have numbers the other way. Meese able to find Green on the far side. Pump fake. Green going inside. And a great adjustment midair again. And just like that, a 5-point game with 11:30 left to play.
And California has got to tighten this defense up a little bit and start bringing some pressure. And it looks like they're going to switch to a 3-2 high-low zone motion defense.
Whitehead able to dribble past everyone. His shot no good. The Vulcans have not been able to catch fire here offensively. Green in transition, thought about the 3, passes it off to Dylan. Dylan gets it to Whitaker. Good hands by Palick to just poke that one away.
Football, we call that the punch shot.
Yeah, it was like a running back and the defensive linebacker just punches it straight out. And able to get the Vulcans the ball back. Once again, 10:50 left to play. Hall trying to get it to Palick. I don't think Jermaine and Keith were on the same page there. That one will sail out of play, and that's going to send us to immediate timeout.
And Coach Sankum letting them hear about that one as we take a look here at the upcoming schedule. We'll be back on Wednesday when Mansfield comes to town. Our last crossover matchup of the season. Then UPJ comes back to California as well for the first time. And we'll see the Mountain Cats. Then the PSAC schedule flips over, and we'll start seeing some teams we already saw earlier this year. Clarion, the Vulcans go on a 2-game road trip up to Clarion and Edinburgh, and then come back home for a game with Slippery Rock and Gannon. And so not an easy road for the Vulcans coming up here for those next few games.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, especially the game on the weekend against UPJ, one of the top teams in the conference. And that's why a game like this is ever more important because, well, like you have just put up on your screen next to me, UPJ leading over Mercyhurst right now 43-39 with a little over 14 minutes left to play in that second half. So it's crucial for the Vulcans to get a win here because in a game like that, it's going to be tough to pull out a win, even at home against against UPJ.
And IUP now all starting a breakaway from the Fighting Scots right now, 48-31 in that one. Gannett in trying to get rid of the goose egg in the win column. They're up 58-47 right now. Now over Clarion and UPJ, as you said, it up 43-39. And it's Slippery Rock Lockhaven. And right now, the Eagles up by 10 at the halfway mark of the second half.
And note for this game in particular, Keith Palak, 12 points for him, 14 rebounds to go along with it. So just been a monster on the glass here for California in this game. We're back underway. Seton Hill with the ball. Dylan on the far side, guarded by Whitehead. Passes it over to Green. It's guarded by Polak. Green on the drive, looking for a little bit of separation. Loses his dribble, needs to pass it off. 7 seconds left on the shot clock as Dylan able to get some space. Floater no good, and Palak pulls in another rebound.
That was big. The Vulcans need to stop that run. But they need to get back on the scoreboard. They've been held scoreless now for nearly 3 minutes.
California offense just looking for a little bit of firepower as Polak's three no good. Tabe able to pull in the board, and Tabe with so much speed going down the other way. Palak going to get called for the foul and thought he got some contact with the ball. And I'm surprised he didn't get called for the tech because he was screaming right behind the referee. That's going to be his third.
Yeah, and he's talking to the ref right now about what's going on.
And it looks like, again, with the situation that we talked about earlier, that bleeding from Palak, that looks like it's on his left elbow. Got that checked out a few moments ago and still must have lost the bandage, re-aggravated it, so he's going to get over and get that cleaned up. And after he comes back, same with Tabe going to go to the line and shoot two. And we expected a lot cleaner of a half from the Vulcans, and so far has not been the case as Palak able to get that elbow wrapped up and back into play. I think it's something that the Vulcans just aren't used to. We don't see a lot of zone pretty much anywhere here, and especially in this Division II level as Tabe makes the first. But Seton Hill pulled it out today. The switch between the 2-3 and the 3-2, and the Vulcans just have not been able to adjust quite yet.
Yeah, it's been an all 2-1-2 trap or man-to-man defense thus far. I get that's when it comes to basketball, you should be able to expect anything. And it looks like they're going to go full court on this now.
Yeah, looking for just to force a turnover in the half court is Palak with the pump fake. And Polak does a good job of pulling in that pass. Whitehead pulls up from three, and the Dawn, right when the Vulcans needed it, get the lead back to 6.
That was big. The Vulcans needed to stop the bleeding there. There are no pun intended towards Keith, but the Vulcans needed a bucket.
Tabe with the drive. Foul going to be called, and the Vulcans finally get the call that they've been looking for. That one going to go against Tabe. That's going to be his fourth as Jermaine Hall Jr. going to draw the charge. And with that, Tabe is going to have to head to the bench because you don't want him fouling out because he's been your best player so far if you're Seton Hill.
Yeah, he's been in foul trouble. You're going to want to also keep an eye on Meese as well, as he's got 3 fouls in the game.
Back into the game for the Griffins will be number 10, Caleb Whitaker. It looks like there's some sweat down on the court underneath the basket. The referee and DJ Slaughter down there cleaning it up for the safety of themselves. Back underway once again, 9:20 left to play. The Vulcans with a 6-point lead have the chance to extend it here and would love to do so with Whitehead. Slaughter over to Polak. Polak steps into the 3. Shot too strong. And Green gets the rebound, and a foul going to be called. This one's going to go against Polak as he was just trying to get in there to force the jump ball, but just got too much skin.
Yeah, and I think that's what Polak said, and the coach, I was pulling for the jump ball.
And that will be the Vulcans' 8th foul of the half, so that is going to send, I believe it's Tabe, who was able to pull in that, or Green, to the line to shoot 1 and 1. That's KJ McClure going to check back into the game. Ken Polak going to check out.
McClurk's going to have to be careful. Oh, he's already got 3 fouls on the night thus far.
Yeah, so right now McClurg, Palick, and Polak all at 3. It's Green with the first free throw, no good. Misses the 1-and-1, but Moon able to get the offensive board. And I thought maybe there was a hold underneath the basket. Dylan on the drive, gets it up top to Green. Green driving, tough shot with the right hand, gets it to go. And I guess 2 is better than 1 as he misses the free throw who makes the shot.
That's only going to be his second bucket of the night. All right, 0 for 3 from the charity stripe, and he's 2 of 5 from around the field.
4-point game, 44-48, 8:34 left to play. Slaughter over to Whitehead. Up top to McClurg. McClurg inside to Palick. Now McClurg, dribble, drive, shot, no good. And Whitaker gets the rebound. And now the Griffins have numbers the other way. Green, nice Euro step in the lane. Tough shot over McClurg. It gets it to go, and the fans are loving it. And even the bench as well.
The bench is going to have to watch the get too far down that line. They're going to call a tech on you.
2-point game now, just under 8 to play. Slaughter, as the fans start to chant defense, getting the Griffins back into this one. Slaughter inside to Palick, back up top to Slaughter, who decides to take the 3. His 3-point shot too strong, but good job by McClurg to get the offensive rebound. And the Vulcans reset once again with Whitehead. The 3-2 zone still in effect here for the Griffins as Whitehead finds Hall inside. Hall shot no good. Second chance effort for him, no good, but going to get fouled, and Jermaine Hall Jr. going to head to the line.
And that timeout couldn't have come at a better time for the Vulcans. Need to stop the bleeding here as they have been held scoreless now for 2:15.
Yeah, we saw this in the women's game as well. There was a stretch where it looked like the Vulcans could not make a shot. We have a second talking about Vulcan Village. If you're a California Vulcan student and looking for a place to stay, the Vulcan Village is the place to go. You can schedule a tour in person, or you can check out a virtual tour online at vulcanvillage.com. So make sure to head over there and apply today for fall housing. But like we talked about, it just seems like the Vulcans' offense has kind of run out of ideas, and the pressure is going to be on Coach Sankum and the rest of the coaching staff to try to find a way to break this zone defense that the Griffins have been able to employ here in this game. Has been a great effect because we talk about California being one of the highest scoring teams, not only in the West, but in the entire conference. And so far, they just have been, their offense has been nullified at all this game.
And I guarantee you that's what Coach Sankum's talking about right now. I'll slow things down on make the free throws and then come back and get it on defense. And so they are going to have to do something here to answer or for that Griffin offense. But we got a second here. We're going to take a look at some other scores around the PSAC. Under the 6-minute mark now. Now Gannon up 62-51 over Clarion right now. UPJ running away with this one right now at the halfway point. 51-41, and the score, or the Mountain Cats lead the Lakers. And Seton Hill, Slippery Rock, as they were starting to cut into the lead, are now trailing 53-42.
Jermaine Hall Jr., the redshirted junior from Baltimore, Maryland, Severn High School, knocks down the first free throw. Someone that we've seen a lot of, but haven't heard his name quite as much here in the second half. Able to make the first free throw. Gets himself 12 points, but looking at the stats so far in the second half, 8 of 21 from the field for the Vulcans, 1 of 7 from 3, now 2 of 2 from the line. So not great shooting splits for the Vulcans here in this half. Hall with the chance to make the second. And he does exactly that. 4-point lead restored for the Vulcans as I drop my paper. 13 for him, 7:25 left to play. Vulcans up by 4, 50-46 is your score. Green dribbles it all the way in and then brings it all the way back out. Pass it off to Dylan. Dylan gets it over to Green in the corner for 3. And Green, who, like we talked about, was a non-factor in that first half, has really started to turn it on here in the second.
Yeah, Green, 9 points on the afternoon, 4 of 7 from beyond the
Slaughter now inside to Palick. Palick with the fadeaway jump shot gets that one to go. The Vulcans cushion now remains at 3 with 6:45 left to play. We talked about the defense being a struggle for the Vulcans. They need to get a stop at some point here. The Griffins have really been cutting into this lead as Tabe gets it over to Green once again for 3. That shot no good. And Whitehead gets the board. The Vulcans with numbers the other way. Whitehead dribbles it towards his own bench. Nearly gets trapped, but able to get out of it. There's a chance here for the Vulcans to capitalize. 6:15 left, 15 on the shot clock. McClurg, now Whitehead, inside to Palick. Palick finds McClurg wide open for 3. KJ McClurg's 3-pointer no good. Good job by Hall to pull in the offensive board, and the Vulcans reset.
Yeah, great ball movement by the Vulcans on that last possession. And now, you got on another shot clock. You got it down to 6 minutes, and so start winding some clock a little bit and play a smart basketball here.
Whitehead up top. Dribbled long 2 for him. Can't get the shot to go. Tabe pulls in the board, and Tabe so fast. Can go the other way, and a foul going to get called in the open court. Thought maybe Whitehead got a hand on the ball and forced a turnover. It could be too much contact made from him. That's going to be Whitehead's 3rd. It's going to be the team's 9th. So Samuel Tabe going to head to the line to shoot 1 and 1. And for the Griffins as well, Mike's going to come back into the game. It's number 11, Michael Joyner, going to check out. And then for the Vulcans, Cam Polak going to come back into the game. DJ Slaughter going to head to the bench. Tabe with the 1 and 1. Makes the first free throw, cuts the lead to 2 here for California. Tabe makes the pair. 13 points now in the game for him. And a 1-point game with 5:40 left to play here in the McKenna Center. Seton Hill rallying back here in the second half. I mean, it was a 1-point game at half, but the Vulcans had the lead and kind of lost control of the game a little bit. That's why Coach Sang is going to take a timeout.
And I guarantee he's going to talk strategy and what to do here. Here are down to the last 5:33 here in regulation time. You want to play smart. You don't want to give the Griffins any kind of momentum. You want to slow their game down. You need to start making some baskets here. Here, the Vulcans in the games thus far, 20 of 52. And however, Seton Hill now starting to sneak up on you a little bit. 20 of 55 from the field today. 3 of 21 from beyond the arc. So not a good shooting day from either team. But the main thing, I think, for Seton Hill, why they're not in the lead right now, is all the three-pointers that they've taken a shot at.
Yeah, in this second half, it's been a game of fouls and free throws as Seton Hill 7 for 20 from the field in the second half compared to the Vulcans 9 of 24. But Seton Hill have taken 10 free throws compared to the Vulcans 3. 7 of 10 from the free throw line compared to the Vulcans 3 of 3. So that's where the Griffins have been able to make up a large chunk of their deficit. So we're back underway once again as Palick inside. Going to take it back out. Gets it over to Whitehead, who passes it over to Palick again for 3. And Palick with the deep 3 brings the Vulcans a 4-point lead once again.
That was big there.
Dillon on the near side. Going to be guarded by McClurg. Passes it over to Whitaker. Whitaker and Mice play game of handoff as Mice down low. Finds Green. Green shot no good. But Hall going to foul him on his way up. So Green going to get a line shoot 2. Jermaine Hall now sits at 3 fouls. So all 5 members of the Vulcans on the court sitting at 3 fouls.
And for the starters, the only one that doesn't have a single foul is DJ Slaughter.
Green knocks down the first, and that foul would be the 10th foul from the Vulcans here in this half. So any foul after this will automatically be a double bonus shot. As into the game comes Tabe once again. Whitaker going to go to the bench. It's going to be some switch around in terms of they're just messing with it, trying to figure out where to go inside of the paint there. Playing some mind games, if you will.
Yeah, but that might have hurt your shooter.
Green did not get affected by the unintentional or intentional icing that his team may have been doing to him. Knocks down both. 2-point game, 4:45 left to play here in the second half. The Vulcans still with a 2-point lead. McClure gets it to Hall now. Hall gets over to Palick in the corner for a 3. His shot no good, but went down and thought maybe it was going to be a shooting foul against the Griffins, but it's going to end up being a foul against Palick. We've seen this a couple of times. I believe they're going to call him for flopping, which we've seen him, he called for a couple of times. So now they're going to send Sean Dillon to the line to shoot 1. And now after that, the Griffins are going to get the ball back.
And it's going to be a 1-point game here, but
like we talked about, this is where the Vulcans need to keep themselves mentally strong. They cannot let something like that affect them as much. I mean, Palick a little bit frustrated about the lack of calls he's been getting in the last couple of games, especially in this game. We've seen him with a couple of outbursts, but needs to keep his head level because the Vulcans are going to need him down the stretch.
Yeah, the Vulcans definitely need to step up the defense here.
Tabe on the far side, going to work against Palick. Gets it out to Meese. Now Green, pump fake. Green going baseline, gets it over to Dillon in the corner for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Palick pulls in the board.
And the woes from beyond the arc continue for Seton Hill. 3 of 22 now.
Yeah, that is not the mark you're looking for if you're a Griffins fan, as Palick inside finds Hall. Beautiful ball movement from the Vulcans, and Jermaine Hall Jr. restores the 3-point lead for Cal.
That is a man you do not want to leave all alone, and somehow all snuck behind the defense of the Griffins.
Dillon, nice move, gets it off to Meese. Meese on the drive, left-hand shot, left it too short. And McClure able to slow things down, settle it. 16 rebounds in this game for Palick, 17 points and 16 to go along with 16 rebounds. So a big game from him. That's McClure. Now Whitehead on the drive. Floater no good. And Tabe pulls in the board. Also a chance for the Vulcans to extend their lead. The lead still is 3. But now Green pulls up from 3. His shot too strong. But the Vulcans caught lacking on the rebounding end once again. Green from 3 again. That one no good. And Moon kind of undershot it, and Whitehead pulls in the board. 2:53 left to play here in the McKenna Center. The Vulcans clinching onto a 3-point lead, but the Griffins storming back as Palick, mid-range jumper, no good. Tabe pulls in the board. Foul called underneath the basket, however. I believe the ball going to end up staying here, as that one's going to go against Seton Hill.
Yeah, I think that's going to be again. And Meese in that one. And that's going to be his 4th foul now. So you got a couple of the guys for Seton Hill in some foul trouble. As we take a look here at the schedule once again. And the Vulcans return home on Wednesday. As they'll take on in their final crossover matchup against Mansfield. And the Vulcans will stay here at home as UPJ comes to town before they go on the road for a 2-game trip against Clarion in Edinburgh before coming back home to take on Slippery Rock and Gannon. So a loaded lineup up there for the Vulcans.
And that's why this game is ever more important for the Vulcans to win. So like you talked about, there's some heavy hitters in that mix. Edinburgh, who's having a good game today. UPJ, obviously, after the result stands, if we can take a look at that one, 12-point lead over Mercers with 5:48 left to play. Will take sole possession of second place in the conference, and then Slippery Rock as well, who the Vulcans fell to earlier on in the season.
And the Rock has cut that lead down against the Eagles, 59-51, with 2:46 to go in regulation time in that one. Gannon, who's trying to get rid of that goose egg and get their first win of the season and move up the conference standings, trying to hang on in this one against Clarion, and 66-56 right now in that contest. So interesting to see how that one's going to go.
Could definitely be some shakeup in the standings, and now it's only a 5-point game in that Lock Haven Slippery Rock matchup, 59-54 in that one. So the Rock coming back after they were down early on in that game. We're going to get back underway here. Whitehead to inbound here for Cal. Gets that one stolen away by Moon. Sloppy pass from Whitehead.
Not what you wanted to do. Ooh, right off the timeout.
3-point lead here for the Vulcans. 2:30 left to play. Meese gets it over to Joyner. Now back up top to Dylan from 3. His three-pointer no good, and the ball gets punched into the stands. They're going to say that's going to come off of Moon himself, and nearly knocks out.
I was going to say, Moon was sending that one to the moon.
Yeah, that one almost knocked out a student there in the 5th row up. Is Green going to come back into the game? And something to keep an eye on is Tabe with 4 fouls, Meese with 4 fouls. And Whitehead trying to waste as much time here as possible. 2:10 left in the game. And the gym has gone silent. Everyone, you can feel the pressure here. You can hear the drop of a needle as both teams. The game just being on a knife's edge as Palick, 4 seconds, able to find Polak underneath. Great move by Polak, and the 5-point lead restored for Cal.
And the Vulcans just need to play smart defense here, or not foul. Oh, you're under 2 minutes. Try to finish this one out.
Green plays a give and go with Moon. Green with the drive, pass it off to Tabe. Tabe working inside, gonna finish, and Palick gonna get drilled in the face as well on that drive. And the whistle's blown, waiting to see. Looks like they're gonna get the game underway, looking to make sure Palick was all right, but the lead cut down to 3 again.
Yeah, Palick took one right there in the chop. So gonna make sure he's not spitting chiclets later on here.
Seton Hill kind of set a trap, but good awareness by the Vulcans, especially the coaching staff, to pointing that one out is McClurg. Whitehead, now Polak. Polak inside, floater off the glass, gets it to go, and the Vulcans lead goes back to 5. And now Green going the other way. Dribbles out, gets it back out to Moon. Moon. Lost his dribble, needs to get someone to pass it to. Able to find Meese. Deep 3 from Meese off the mark, and Palick pulls in the board and almost rips off Jermaine Hall's head as well in the process.
And the struggles for Seton Hill, 3 of 25 from 3. As Polak hits that one. And timeout, Seton Hill.
And I mean, we have not seen a lot of Cam Polak in this game, but 5 consecutive points for him, 12 on the night. And the Vulcans with an 8-point lead with 43.2. Coach Wilkins and the Griffins are going to call a timeout.
That was a big three-pointer. I just heard the McKenna Center go silent after that.
Yeah, exactly what the Vulcans need. The first 3 made by Cam Polak on the night, 1 for 7 for him. So not exactly the greatest in that one. As we take a look at some scores around the league. Gannon still looking for their first win, up by 11, 69-58 with 1:49 left to play. So it looks like the Golden Knights are finally going to get their first win of the season.
And then this one with Mercyhurst and UPJ, the Lakers cutting it down to 7 now. 3.5 minutes to go on that one. On 60-53. And then we look over right now as the Eagles lead the Rock right now. 61-56 right now. As they're down under 2 minutes in that one.
1:43 left to play in that game. Looking at some stats here from this one as well. We talked about a big night for Palick. 17 points for him, 18 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, and a steal. So just filling up the stat sheet all around. Been a great performance for him. Jermaine Hall Jr., 15 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal for him as well. And then Polak, the third Vulcan in double digits, scoring 12 points for him, along with 4 rebounds, an assist, and a block. So the Griffins going quickly here. Moon in the corner for 3, but blocked by Palick, and Palick had some words to say to him, and pretty much saved the game there. Great job, and a good defensive effort by Palick.
Yeah, Palick, another block added on to that one, and that's his second of the game.
Tabe gets the inbound, gets it off to Moon. Moon looking for some space, is able to dribble and loses control of it. but gets it back. The basket's going to get waved off, but the Vulcans the Griffins going to be in the double bonus. So that'll send Jimmy Moon to the line to shoot 2 with 29.7 left to play.
Moon 1 for 1. This will be his first trip to the free throw line tonight.
I just want to reiterate the statement that he has the coolest name. As the shot clock now turned off, 29.7 left to play. The stadium it's gone silent as Moon cannot make the first. You hear the collective, the joy of the Vulcans and the groans of the Griffins. Some substitutions are made. Tabe going to come out of the game. Rice going to come back in. The Moon, with his second free throw, can make it a 7-point game with 29.7. You hear the Vulcans bench barking at Moon as he misses both. And now the Griffins need to foul quickly if they want to get the ball back, and they do. But not after the Vulcans are able to whittle off some time. 25.6, and with 7 fouls, Donald Whitehead Jr. will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1.
That's big.
So the 4 Vulcans opposite Whitehead all going to go on the other half of the court to play defense. Whitehead, the lone Vulcan member among a pack of Griffins. So he knocks down the first free throw. As calm as you like, Donald Whitehead Jr. He's not had the greatest night so far. 8 points for him off the bench. I say that, but as he makes it 9 there, and substitution made. Slaughter going to come back in, but I'm used to the Don scoring 25 off the bench. But a quiet night for him. A quiet night for the Vulcans offensively. It's 10-point lead, 22 seconds left. Tabe on the drive. And
that's going to be Tabe's 5th. He's done for the night.
He's done, and Jermaine Hall Jr. pulls in that charge, and we've seen it time and time again this game. Hall under there takes that contact. We had blocking foul, we had blocking foul, we had blocking foul, and finally able to get the feet set, takes the charge, and sends Samuel Tabe, who's been the best player here for the Griffins, out of the game.
And it looks like Mises also going to go to the bench and sit down, and we're going to hit a couple more guys off the bench here with 19.4 left here in the game.
Yeah, 19.4, and I think they subbed him off because they don't want him to get another foul because he'd foul out as well. And the Griffins either need to prevent the inbound pass from coming in or need to foul quickly and get the ball back. McClurg, the inbound for the Vulcans, going to have Jimmy Moon in his face.
Moon's also got to watch because he's got into a little bit of foul trouble.
Able to get it into Palak. Palak getting double teamed. It's going to end up getting fouled as well. Keith Palak, or excuse me, it looks like the Vulcans going to call a timeout. 17.1 left to play before any contact was made. And I believe they have the choice to advance the ball here with a timeout, but it looks like they may keep it down on the other end.
I mean, that'd be the smart thing to do. There's 17.1 seconds, and you got to hit the basketball up the court in 15. And so you got plenty of time. You can kill it off.
And the goal here for the Vulcans is just to waste as much time as possible and prevent the Griffins' fleeting hope of a comeback here in the McKenna Center. And like we talked about pregame, I mean, this is a stadium which is kind of weird that the Vulcans have a better record here than they do at home, which is not something you see pretty much anywhere. The Vulcans making this their second home, as Whitehead going to receive the football pass from Jermaine Hall, and the Vulcans just playing keep away. I think the Griffins have conceded defeat here, and the Vulcans are going to wind things out here in the McKenna Center, and a big, big win for them to bounce back after a couple of tough losses.
Yeah, the Vulcans needed this one. As the clock it's triple zeros on out. 66-56 going to be the final score. Or this was big. The Vulcans needed that after such close matchups against Mercyhurst and with IUP. They needed this one now. Oh, and great win for California.
And that's the final here in the McKenna Center. Your score, California 66, Seton Hill 56 from everyone here at CUTV, from our directors Tom Caden and Gary Smith, from my broadcast partner Jonathan Sakaguchi. My name is Jonathan Sape. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you guys all on Wednesday. See you later, everyone. You've been listening here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Network.